Welcome everyone. It's Melissa here with communicatewithangels.com, and I'm so thrilled to be sharing with you today on the topic of how to receive messages from your angels. So I am doing a kind of a little day-by-day series this week. Where I'm going to guide you through some of the really important tools to having a connection with your spirit guides. Yesterday, I talked about how to raise your vibration, which is the first essential step to connecting with your angels. So if you missed that one, hop on back on YouTube or Facebook and check it out because it's really, really important. You need to raise your vibration so that you're more receptive to spirit. Today, we're talking about receiving messages from your guides, and this is something that will be happening randomly all the time, but we can also practice it and develop a closer communication. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about how to have a two-way communication with you guys. So you can ask them questions, get confirmation, know that you're on the right track. And on Thursday, I'm going to be talking about how to have a daily practice with your angels so that you can, check in and have that regular practice and routine almost. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to mark your calendars, check it out. And the other announcement that I have is that this week, it expires on Thursday, April 17th at midnight Eastern time. I am offering a 50% off sale on the Communicate with Angels course. This is a course that is tried and true. I just realized it's been 10 years. I first created it in 2015. The current version I created in 2021. It has helped literally hundreds and hundreds of people connect with their angels. It's very amazing quality. So why am I putting it on a discount? I just felt really inspired to back people in that way in this time. We're going through some craziness, some uncertainty in the environment, and having a connection with spirit can bring you so much reassurance when the environment around us feels shaky and uncertain, right? We don't know what's going to happen day to day. So for one, I felt really guided to offer that. The other reason is that I am going to work behind the scenes on actually updating the course. So not taking away any of the value of it, but just tweaking things a little bit based on what I've seen people really need, what needs to be added to the course that maybe wasn't there before. Some of it can actually be taken away because it's not as important. So just really refining it and streamlining it. So I thought, hey, why not do a kind of a closing down sale of this version of the course? But the cool thing is if you buy now, you will get the updated version when it's ready in a month or two. You get a private session with this course. So, and that private session alone is worth $197. And right now the course is less than that. So you're getting the private session with me and you're getting a step-by-step course on all the tools that you need to feel really confident with your connection with your guides. Because for me, a connection with spirit, your own spiritual helpers, is really a very important foundation for your spiritual journey. All the clients that I work with and more advanced groups have had this first course that I'm talking about here. Because when you have your own communication with your guides, they're going to help you on your spiritual journey. They're going to help you to grow, to be more aware. You can ask them questions and get confirmation. So this really, to me, is a very important step in your journey if you are, if you're on that spiritual journey right now, if you're learning and growing and experiencing new things and developing that part of yourself, you will always be able to come to that foundation of trusting your inner guidance when you have a communication with your guides. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link to the course in the chat here so that you can check it out. You've got just a couple more days to take advantage of that amazing, amazing sale. Communicatewithangels.com/enroll. Can't wait to meet you on our private session. I'll tell you more about that a little later. But for now, let's dive into the really important stuff. Oh, and by the way, yesterday when I was on live, I was talking about a coupon code. I decided to just make it much simpler. You don't need a coupon code. Everything's kind of already there on the page waiting. And I added some notes on the page, really reminding people that the sale is running until Thursday. So, a couple more days. If you're here live or even watching the replay, please say hi in the chat. Let me know where you are in the world. I would love to connect with you. And if you have any questions as we go through, please do not hesitate to put them in the chat. That really helps these live classes to be more impactful for people, because when you ask a question, other people will benefit as well. And I love to create a sense of community and connection here. So by introducing yourself, you're helping others as well. So in the spirit of introducing, my name is Melissa. I live in Richmond, Virginia. It is a beautiful spring day today. And so I'm really excited because the weather was a little iffy the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to a baseball game tomorrow. So I can't wait for that. It feels like, okay, spring is actually here, because I'm not a winter person, but if you can't tell. Okay, so today we're talking about receiving messages from your angels. So you are energy. You are here to learn and grow. You have a unique life purpose. You have inner guidance, and you are free. Those are the 5 key statements that are really the foundation of our spiritual life. With that inner guidance system, you have 4 spiritual abilities. And you may be familiar with the clairs, right? Clairaudient is the inner hearing, the still small voice inside. Clairvoyance is that inner vision, envisioning pictures. Prophecy or clear cognizance, I always forget that one, is the inner knowing, right? Just knowing things without being told and sensing the future. And then feeling or clairsentience is more those gut feelings and hunches. What are you feeling? Body sensations, etc. So each of us has all 4 of these spiritual gifts. You probably recognize yourself a little bit in all of them. There are psychic aspects of each of those gifts, and there's also personality traits that are connected with the gifts as well. So I'm not going to talk about the personality trait side of it much today, but know that there is so much more that you can learn about yourself when you discover your spiritual gifts, right? And which one is primary for you. That is actually part of the consultation that's in the Communicate with Angels course, the private session, the one-on-one that we can do together. You are going to learn, or check it out with Spirit, what your gift order is, which one is primary for you. And by the way, there is a 3-month payment plan with the course, and that is on a 50% discount as well. So if you have budget concerns right now, which I know is a very real thing for people, this is going to be the lowest that I ever offer this, right? You can get started for that first payment of like $49. So I hope that's really exciting to you guys. Okay, so we have these 4 spiritual gifts. And we're perceiving energy all the time because you are energy, you're sensing energy. And you understand that energy frequency, or you interpret it, would be a better word, through one of those 4 gifts. Right? So again, the inner voice, the inner vision, inner knowings, and inner feelings. Right? Not the outer physical senses, but those inner spiritual senses. So your guides, you have a personal team. And whether you call them guides or angels or spiritual helpers, it doesn't matter. What we're talking about here is your personal team that are with you, guiding you, helping you on your journey. They're master souls. They don't have a physical body at this time. They have incarnated into planet Earth before, and they've experienced the growth of planet Earth. But at this time, they're pure spirit, pure energy. But remember, you are energy too. You are spirit. And so you're naturally connecting with them all the time. But they are, again, you and I right now live in two worlds at once. We live in the material world, the physical, because we're in a physical body, but we also live in the spiritual world of energy, of spirit. And really, that's our true home. We're just visiting planet Earth right now. Okay. So, in order for you to connect with your guides, your angels, you're going to be using that energetic communication, that spiritual communication. And we all can do this. It's really natural, but many of us have shut it down, or we're just not encouraged to develop that part of ourselves. Sometimes quite the opposite, right? You were told, oh no, you're just making that up if you felt something, or that's not real. That's just your imagination. We get these messages when we're young, and so we learn to shut down that spiritual sensitivity, that psychic ability, and rely more on the physical, the intellectual, the logical part of us. Both of those parts are good and both of those parts are needed, but so many of us are out of balance, right? You're more in your intellect and your thinking mind, and that can block you from recognizing and trusting in that spiritual communication, right? So that's what you'll learn in the Communicate with Angels course. The first couple modules really help you to work with your vibration of energy and start to perceive the messages through energy. Okay, now you are already experiencing this. You're already getting hunches, inspirations, words popping in your mind. Let's go through each gift and I'll share some common kind of experiences that you might relate to, you might have had. So for clairaudient, again, hearing your name called, hearing a word or a phrase pop in your mind out of nowhere, hearing a song where the lyrics have some message for you. Again, but it's that inner guidance. Through vision or clairvoyance, maybe it's, what would it be? Seeing a picture, a symbol. I'm high in this gift myself, and sometimes I'll like see a person's face. My romantic partner, he will often text me during the day from work when he's getting bored, and I will see his face in my mind, and then next minute I know I get a text, right? So I'm perceiving the energy of him thinking about me, and I see his face in my mind. Prophecy might be a premonition about the future, knowing what's coming, or just having a real sense of energy and inner knowing. And then through feeling, it could be just a gut feeling about something. It can be feeling chills and physical sensations like warmth, sometimes the vibration, that kind of thing. I feel like I'm forgetting some things. If you have had some psychic experiences, please let me know in the comments. What have you experienced? Would love to know. So when your guides are communicating with you, it'll be those kind of impressions. It's, again, that word popping in your mind, or you see a picture, or you get a sign, and we have to be relaxed enough to perceive it. So this is happening randomly, and when it does, pay attention, trust it, right? We tend to go, oh no, I just made that up, or how do I know that's real? That's your intellect coming in to block your sensitivity. That's something that you learned to do. It can be unlearned. It's just a habit, okay? And the way to unlearn it, the best way to unlearn that way that you're blocking yourself is by developing your feeling psychic nature more. All of those 4 gifts, develop them more, practice them, utilize them so that in your daily life, they become natural. And again, that's the first couple modules of the Communicate with Angels course, is giving you lots of practice of that. It doesn't mean you have to watch every single video. You can pick and choose which ones you want to practice at different times and come back to them. Sometimes people get overwhelmed by signing up for this course because they see it as like, oh my gosh, it's so much work. And they think they have to do every lesson in order, like it's school. It's not. It's not school. It's not an assignment. It's tools at your disposal. Okay. And the main thing is just being able to utilize and practice, right? I don't believe in making anything complicated. Everything in the course is very short and sweet, to the point, as simple that you can practice and get results. And when you have that connection with your guides in your life, you're going to feel more in alignment with your purpose. You're going to feel more directed, going to feel more happy inside, right? And just on track with things. And I'm sort of thinking about what I'm actually going to talk about tomorrow, which is the two-way communication. But that's kind of the later part of the course, modules 3, 4, and 5. You learn how to get confirmation. So if you're have questions about something like, is this the right time to do this? I asked some questions about timing the last couple of days of my angels, because things weren't, like, a couple of things weren't working as I thought they would. And I'm like, oh, is it just a timing thing? And so you can just recheck as you go along the way so that you're in alignment with your flow and your purpose. Yeah. Okay. But that's for tomorrow. That's tomorrow's theme. I'm going to be hopping on live again, probably around 3:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Okay. So stay tuned for that one. But today we're talking about receiving those messages. So if you're receiving them randomly, let's get a little bit of practice. Now, if you know how to cleanse, if you watched that training that I shared with you yesterday on how to do the spiritual cleansing technique, go ahead and cleanse now, because the more cleansed you are, the easier it's going to be to get that guidance. But if you don't know the cleansing, it's okay. You can catch up. I'll put the link for the free training in the comments here. And for today, if you don't know how to cleanse, you can just take some deep breaths. That is also a form of cleansing. Okay, but if you do know how to cleanse, let's go ahead and do that. And just close your eyes and call your angels in close to you. Take a few deep breaths. We're going to work with your clairaudient gift. And so you're going to say in your mind, angels, give me one word. Take a deep breath and relax and allow that word to come into your mind. And when you have it, write it down. Close your eyes again. And this time, say, angels, give me 2 words. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, those 2 words will come to your mind. And when you receive them, write them down. Close your eyes one more time. And this time say, angels, give me a phrase. Take a deep breath and relax and allow that phrase to come into your mind as you exhale. And note it down when you have it. Okay. So I'm trying to give you some time to do it, but it's also weird to have silence. So don't worry if you didn't get all the words. If you got something, that's great. Even if you didn't get anything, it may just be that it's a little too rushed, or you just need to do it on your own again later. But you probably noticed that a word came to you that didn't require your own effort or your own thought to come up with. Yeah. So I'd love for those of you that are here live or watching the replay, post it afterwards for sure. As much as you're willing to share, you don't have to share it all if it's too personal, no problem. But as much as you are willing to share, what words did you pick up and what does it mean to you? That's important too, not just to get the words, but then also to interpret the message. Yes, Kenny, that's a great question. I will answer it in a moment. So while you're typing in what you got, hopefully you are, I will share with you. I mean, all my words were just sort of very confirming, I feel like. Nothing, not a specific message today, just sort of generally very confirming. So my one word was relax, two words was be still, and phrase was one with all. So generally the message there for me is to really relax and stay connected with the universe. A couple of things have happened in my life that were a little unexpected, derailed me a little bit, and I've had to really come back to my practices of connecting with my guides, connecting with the universe, knowing that I'm always supported. And so I feel like this is really another message around that. Okay, so people are quiet today, but I would love to hear your message. If you are willing to share, please type it in the chat. And if you guys have any other questions, like can you just ask a question, please post those as well. I will put it up on the screen if I remember how. Here it is. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so Kenny said, can I ask a question? Can you explain who are around us? Is it spirit guides, angels, and deceased relatives? Yes. So there are different schools of thought on this. And in my opinion, some of it has become quite intellectual, where we have to come up with different classifications, different names, like spirit guides means this, angels means this, archangels means this, archetypes means this. To me, a lot of that is unnecessary. Okay. You are spirit, your spirit guides are spirit, you are energy, they are energy. There's different levels of awareness as we grow and evolve on planet Earth, right? We're here to learn and grow. There's some souls who are newer to this spiritual school of planet Earth. There's some souls that are more evolved. It's the same with our guides. There's some that are newer to being a guide or an angel, and there's some that are more evolved. Okay. So I think that's what people are perceiving when they say, this is an angel, this is an archangel. Okay. So I personally don't worry too much about that. It's not something that is very practical, right? I like spirituality to be practical and helpful in your life. So all that to say, when we're what we're talking about here is your personal team. They're souls who've graduated from planet Earth. They've mastered the lessons here. You attract them before you were born because they've mastered the lessons that you've come to learn this lifetime. So you can call them whatever you want to call them. They don't mind. You could call them spirit guides. You could call them angels. You could call them helpers. I often just call them my guidance. And a lot of my friends who are on a spiritual journey, we just kind of really refer to it as our guidance. So use whatever resonates with you. The deceased relatives is a really good question. I have some videos on these things that I will, if I get a chance, I'll post the link so you can check out the YouTube videos. So yeah, I'm going to show your other question here. Are the guides deceased relatives or totally separate? Excellent question, and I'm sure one that many people have. So that's a different kind of a relationship, right? Because your guides are souls who've graduated, they've mastered their energy of planet Earth school. and you've had a contract with them, a spiritual contract, since even before you were born. So they're your deceased relatives. You can definitely connect with them. They can be, they're not a guide for you, but you have a connection with them. My father passed on in 2006, and he was a very strong mentor for me in my life, etc. So I do feel him come around me sometimes. And because he's still, is sort of like that father figure in a way, he's not really on a soul level, but he's sort of checking in on me still, like a parenting kind of a figure in spirit. That might change in the future, to be honest, but I still do feel him in that way. So I think sometimes people might think, oh, he's one of my angels. No, he's not. He's not assigned to me to help and guide me in my life, because he is still learning and growing, right? He probably will come back for another lifetime. He has his own guides that are helping him on his journey. So hopefully that just helps to make the distinction. You can connect with them, but if anybody watching this has had an experience where one of your loved ones has passed on and you are in that grieving mode right now, one thing just to be aware of is that they don't belong around planet Earth anymore. Their contract for this lifetime is completed. They no longer have a physical body, so that means they need to move on. So sometimes we can unknowingly hold those souls back because we miss them and we want to talk to them. We want the communication to be more on that physical level like it was when they were alive. But they're not going to connect with you in that physical way anymore because they're just part of spirit. So like, I don't feel my dad all the time by any means. I could go a year or two without really feeling him, but then sometimes I do feel him. It's not like I hear his voice or like a communication like that. I can feel his energetic presence. And I might feel him wanting to share something with me, but it's not usually even words. It's just like, oh, I can feel that is his intention, and I'm interpreting it with my own words. If that makes sense. That's just my experience of it with my own, somebody that I connect with from the other side. So I hope that helps. And this was another question here. Also, our spirit, higher self, lived many lifetimes. Does our spirit exist on the same time on Earth? I don't know if I understand this question, to be honest. Does spirit exist at the same time on Earth, living same time as we live? Are you kind of talking about like different dimensions? If so, I do feel that that is true on some level, but it's not something that I have enough personal experience with to comment on. But just on like a very intuitive, I've talked about this with friends before, just on this like very intuitive inner knowing level, it does feel true. But it's one of those things for me that it's getting a little bit philosophical, and it's not something I concern myself with too much. I hope that makes sense, Kenny. Okay, you are so welcome. All right, any other questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer questions because I feel like if you have it, probably other people do too, But again, reminder that the Communicate with Angels course, that step-by-step program to really unfolding and growing yourself, is on a sale right now until Thursday, April 17th. You don't need a coupon code anymore. I just changed that. I made it right there on the site for you. And you get a private session with me. I want to show you the, I was going to show you the sheet, but it's not letting me share that, unfortunately. But what I can show you is the page for the course. I don't know if that's working. Let me know. Hopefully it is. And this is what it will look like when you go to sign up. So 50% off sale until Thursday, 12 a.m. Eastern time. You get the videos, you get worksheets, you get a private session with me for 60 minutes on Zoom. And you get a Facebook group of really amazing people. So as soon as you enroll, you're going to get access to that Facebook group. These are the video modules: raise your vibration, receive messages through your 4 intuitive gifts, do that gifts and guidance private session that you're going to learn about how many angels you have on your team, what your strength is of the 4 gifts of intuition, vision, prophecy, and feeling. And yeah, how many angels you have, whether they're male or female, and this amazing technique, which is called the check and recheck technique, where you can ask your angels questions and get immediate answers and confirmation. Once you've learned that technique in the private session, module 3 is about how really practicing that and working with it. Module 4 is knowing about how to phrase specific questions. So you're knowing the right words to use to have success. For example, you don't want to use should. They may not answer those kind of should questions. And then module 5 is about making it practical in your life, having a daily practice, getting to know your team better, and how you can really use this in your life. So this is an amazing pricing. I won't be offering this again. It's just something that I felt very guided to do at this time. And there's even a 50% discount on the payment plan. Okay. And then I also, see if this is still working, because sometimes technology is not my friend. It looks like it is. I also wanted to show you just a little bit of a sneak peek inside the course. I think it's this one. Yep. Okay, so it's split into 2 separate things when you log in. So each video is short and sweet, right? You're learning to raise your vibration. And then let me just give an example with this one, right? 6-minute video, okay? It's short and sweet. You get a worksheet to guide you through the technique. It's just simple techniques that you're going to learn and practice. Once you've done the private session, you get access to the second part, modules 3, 4, and 5. And module 3 is really short and sweet. It's just really reviewing what you learned in your private session, making sure that you know the check and recheck technique and the different ways that you can use it. Phrasing the questions. I'm going to just click on this to give you an example. Okay. Okay, so it's just a short video, really learning how to phrase questions specifically. And module 5, learning about your spiritual contract and a daily practice. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that so that you know, hey, this is something that you can really easily integrate into your life. It's not going to take a whole lot of time, but it's really valuable. And again, the private session alone usually is $197. Right now, the entire course is less than $150. So Kenny said, do we have a higher self? I was wondering if it's different. Yeah, I don't think it is really. It's just that part of us that knows. So again, we have our intellectual nature and our feeling nature. And I like to call it sort of your feeling intuitive nature. Yeah. That's the part that we were using when we were getting the words before. It's the part when you're getting hunches, when you're seeing the number sequences, getting the signs, getting the premonition, having the dream, the intuition. And then we have our intellectual nature. That part is logical, structured, analyzing and dissecting, right? But it's the organizing part of us. So I think the higher self is when I can put aside the intellect, because that's really a construct of planet Earth. I can put aside the intellect and just be in that pure feeling intuitive part, my soul part. And there is a lot of wisdom that can be gained from your own higher self, right? It's not just from angels. The angels are really here just to support and back us, to make better empowered decisions, to be on track with our purpose, to have that guidance on your spiritual journey. So I think it's really healing to know that we are on a spiritual journey. And that's why we're here. and your guides are assigned to you to help you with that. So it makes life a beautiful, fun experience, even when the challenges crop up, right? Which I was sharing with you, a couple have for me lately, but it's like, oh my gosh, this is actually a beautiful way to grow and to learn about myself and working with others. Do you know anything about energetic places such as sacred sites? I don't know a whole lot, but I just did go to Sedona a couple weeks ago, and oh my goodness, I noticed the energy was incredible. So I want to go back because I was a little bit rushed. I only had one night there. I'm like, okay, I definitely got to come back here. All right, guys, any other questions? Let me know. Let me type that link again for you to check out the Communicate with Angels course and take advantage of that 50% discount while you have it. If you hopped on late, you might not have heard me say that I am updating the course. And so if you enroll now, you will get the updated version too in a couple months' time. So that, I think, is really exciting. I'm going to be back here live around 3:30 Eastern tomorrow afternoon to share about a two-way communication with your angels. That is something that many people don't even know is possible. And so I'd love to share more about how you can utilize that in your life. All right, I'm going to start wrapping up, but if you guys have any other questions or just want to say hi, please do. If you're watching the replay, post your comments in. I always go back and check them and respond to them. And if you have any questions that you want to contact me personally, you can email me at support@communicatewithangels.com. All right, guys, I don't see any other questions right now, so I will sign off for today. Have a great one. I'll be back tomorrow and can't wait to see you hopefully in the Communicate with Angels course. All right, bye for now.